I did Dear Mama
Tupac.
by Tupac, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, back then I remember, and it was really close to my heart. I was on stage miming it. People loved it. People loved it. We used even to find everything to wear that look like hip hop.
Yeah,
looks like hip hop.
Do you remember the lyrics?
A bit of them.
Okay, can you do one for us?
When I was young, my mama had me 17 years old, get down on the street. So back in this time, I used to...
Man, this is good. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I have a new guest. He's a friend, a long-time partner in crime. He can introduce to the audience.
Yes, my name is Richmond RUNANIRA. I'm a filmmaker. I'm in the creative industry. Sometimes I do poetry, but I'm more into screenwriting and a lot of business communication based of writing.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically that is me. But I'm also a translator. Yeah.
I know him since we were I was starting in 2012 because we met in a film festival workshop.
Yes.
Before that, it was 2007. He managed to do the workshop. I didn't. But we made connection on that day, and he made a movie, a short film. You remember the title?
Yes. The one I
yes,
did better in the now.
Yeah, the better in and out.
Yes.
It's a story talking about a man who was in prison, and then he got a chance to get out, and then he didn't want to be out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, today I want to talk about life in general as an artist or also as a creative person, but in general, the topic is how to survive as a man in this new generation. You remember when I was calling you, I said, now let's talk about being men. Nowadays, men, we are talking about emotion. So for me, it's a pleasure to meet you again for a long time.
It's my pleasure as well. Yeah.
Let's tell people a little bit about yourself, the people who don't know you. I know you grew up in Nairobi, especially in Kenya. Can you tell us the journey? And you don't have to say much, just what you remember and what shaped you from there to up to Rwanda.
I was born in Kenya, but I'm Rwandan, and came back to Rwanda with my parents in 1995. That was just 1 year after the genocide against the Tutsi. So coming back to Rwanda was something very new to me because I have never been to another country besides Kenya, where I was born, and also coming to terms with that part of me that I didn't know, but that only I saw from my parents or my grandmother. She was always talking about Rwanda. But now coming back to me, growing up, I didn't know that I'll be an artist for sure, but one thing that I saw that was kind of different was that growing up in primary school, I used to like drawing. I was so passionate about drawing, and one time I remember at a school in the village when we came to Rwanda, and I will never forget that teacher. He was called Ngaruye. Yeah. So he gave us a test of drawing, which was part of the curriculum back then. And then she saw what an animal. I think I drew like a rabbit or a goat. And then he was so amazed. He told me, "Wow, you boy. How did you learn to draw something like this?" And he was so amazed. So after that, he was so excited. I don't know if he was also equally passionate about art and everything to do about talent. So he gave me more assignments. He gave me to draw the diagrams of the biology, the intestines, the digestion system. He gave me a very big manila papers that were to be hung in our class, but also in P1, P2, and P3.
So you get a job as an assignment.
Exactly. I got like a quick side hustle that I didn't expect at almost 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you become a hustler even when you know you are one. I'm curious. Let's go back a little bit when you're young and living away from Rwanda. Because my topic was always because I was living abroad. The idea you had before Rwanda and when you came to Rwanda. Did you even get a chance to learn to speak Kinyarwanda, or did you learn Kinyarwanda when you came to Rwanda?
Kinyarwanda, as a child, I used to understand it when they speak it to me, but I couldn't respond back. I was responding back in Swahili.
Okay.
But at some point, our grandmother came from Uganda to Kenya to stay with us. So actually, she was the one who used to encourage us to speak in Rwanda. When you reply in Swahili, you say, I can't hear that language. Can you speak? She used to encourage us to speak in Rwanda. So honestly, I could only listen and understand, but responding was difficult. Yeah, so I only came to speak it better when we came back to Rwanda.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was 95 going forward.
Maybe you're like 7 years old, 10 years
I
old.
was like 13, yeah.
Okay.
13 years, 12 years, 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't want to talk, because I love Kenya, I don't want to talk about only Kenya, let's talk about your journey in Rwanda. I know you went to school and they did your background, and then you became a hip hop artist.
Talk about hip hop.
Because I feel like I know you since we were young.
The stories we used
to share with
tell each other. Yeah.
Because I feel like we become the artists we are because we've been shaped in a way we don't understand. But later on, when we see our story and when we see how we overcome those challenges, and then wow, I'm here. I cannot tell you that I wanted to be a rapper. The time when the radio station was starting up, I was like, maybe I can write lyrics. My writing is very bad. It's why I'm curious, because I feel like the generation by generation we have something that seduces us from becoming an artist.
Yes.
So can you tell a little bit about your journey as MC?
MCing and music. I can say it somehow started in high school. Yeah, in high school there is this era of 1997, 98, 99. Yeah, it was a time where I was just joining high school.
Okay.
And there was a lot of bongo flavor music.
Yeah,
Tanzanian music, yeah. And there was this artist who was hitting, Mr. Two is now, I think, changed his name now to Sugu. And I really liked his lyrics, his music. It was everywhere on the radios, Mr. Two. So it was something that we used, even back at school, we used to mime. We go back and repeat the songs, and we, challenge each other. And that is where I even met a good friend, Bhakti. Yeah, Bhakti. So we went to the same school. We were in the same class.
He was also from Tanzania, right?
He was also from Tanzania. And so we used to talk about the music. We used to mime the music, try to recite the lyrics, everything. So, and at our school, there was also something like music, can I call it music events or parties, where they could, something like a talent show. Yeah, so in that setting, we used to just apply and perform and entertain the rest of the students.
What was the school actually?
Kigali International Academy. It came around 95 or 96. Before it was called Rwanda International Academy, and then it changed to Kigali International Academy. Now it's called Kagarama High School.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what was your face like? Who were you when you were like emceeing? What was your base artist? You were performing as a Kenyan and American artist. What was the stage name? We want to know those kind of stuff. How was the ladies was appreciating your vibe?
I can say I didn't have a stage name by then because what we were doing, it was just simply repeating the song. We were miming songs.
Okay. What was your best
back
song?
then?
Like the song when you were performing, people were like, "Wow, we can see you becoming that guy."
Yeah, I did Dear Mama.
Tupac.
By Tupac, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, back then I remember, and it was really close to my heart. I liked the song, I liked the lyrics, and when I was on stage miming it, people loved it. And by then, we used even to find everything to wear that, look like hip hop, looks like hip hop.
Do you remember the lyrics?
A bit of them.
Okay, can you do one for us?
When I was young, my mama had me 17 years old, get down on the street. So back in this time, I used to...
Man, this is good.
It's been a while.
Oh, gosh. Because I know this story, I just want to go to the straight stuff I remember that was juicy and interesting.
Yeah.
You finished your high school, you went to university. What did you study like?
Crossing over to university, I went to study business administration.
Okay.
Yeah, at the School of Finance and Banking. Business.
I don't remember the nickname from the before.
SFB.
SFB, yeah.
Yes.
Because like most of people, old generation, they know from that name.
Yes, true.
Yeah, it's in Gikondo, right?
Yeah, it's in Gikondo. Yeah, so I went there and I studied business administration. But as I went there, something I didn't tell you. After high school, somewhere around senior four, yes, I went to do a side hustle in the holidays.
Okay.
And do you know what the side hustle was?
Tell me, don't make. I know. I remember.
Yes. So I went. There was also during that time there was a hype that was coming of dubbing.
Okay.
So dubbing. Video dubbing is basically
translating.
Translating. It's like.
Yes. The best of the best of.
Yes.
You were working with the best of the best, Mike.
Exactly. So in the same school I was telling you, I met another guy called Mike. Mike Nhaka. So Mike Nhaka was a video joker. Okay. That was the name, video joking. So he met at school, we talked, and I could hear his movies, during holidays and the cinema halls. And then I liked it. I said, I think I can do this too. And I met Mike and we talked and we connected, and he told me, actually, I can introduce you to my boss if you think you can really do this.
The boss
because they were looking for someone who can do it. And I decided, I met the boss and I started doing it part-time.
Wow. How was your English then in Rwanda when you were translating at that time?
My English was good. I can say it was moderate because I was in senior 4.
Yeah,
I was in senior 4.
Because you also have a background in Kenya and you went to school in English system.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So and it was also an Anglophone school. So I can say it was good to go.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
So at that time when you were dabbling or doing that hustle, what were you in love? Did you love cinema in general, or just you went there for money? You didn't think that you had that passion of watching movie? You have your favorite. Apart from being a MC, you love Tupac, you love lyrics, but like hip hop stuff. Did you love also films, or you didn't know before you went that job?
I liked everything about film because in high school we are also doing comedy. Yeah. I was writing some comedy skits, and we would perform for other students. And I even formed, together with my friends, we formed a comedy club called Wazee.
Wow.
Yeah, Wazee group. So and during those performances, I also realized that there is something more to this.
Okay.
There is something to after performing. That's why I approached Mike, and then he took me to his boss.
Okay.
And the boss gave me a test, and he liked it. He liked it, and he said, "We think we can train you, and from here you can catch up really fast, and you start
becoming somebody."
Exactly. And before that, actually that boss, I didn't start immediately in the video joking. We first did drama.
What is drama?
Theatre.
Okay.
We first did theatre. So he formed, actually, he was a visionary man. He was a very visionary man.
You remember his name?
Kayumba Hussein. So Kayumba Hussein, I think I met him somewhere around 2003. And then, so he was so visionary, he brought that video joking business from Uganda, and he introduced it in Rwanda. And this is where big names came about, including the late Yanga, Thomas, and Mike, his brother.
Yeah.
And there's another gentleman who was called Super.
Yes, I remember.
Vijay Super.
I remember those ones.
And many others. Even
but
Didier.
This is like 2001, 2005, or before 2006, right?
The early 2000s.
Yes.
Yeah, all the way to 2006.
Yes.
Yeah. So I met Kayumba, and he formed a drama club. And which drama club? He was so visionary. He went and encouraged local sex workers. These were young girls who were, doing what they shouldn't do just to get money. And he encouraged them to, and told me, you should stop what you're doing, and let me show you how we can make money together, and you forget about all other practices that you are doing that they're dangerous to your life. So they listened, and they formed a comedy club, and we started performing in Gikondo, Majerwa. And at some point we even went to perform in Ruhango. People loved it. We came back. And but after some time, some of them, they were not serious about it because they didn't understand his vision. Yeah, they didn't understand.
I feel like with artists, we always meet people that help us to know where we're going, but at the same time, we are not at the same level.
Yes.
It's why you start in a project and the end you don't like it because it's not going the way you want to go. But I think at the moment you are doing it, it's like it's opening your eyes. It's showing you, this is you, this is not you. Yeah. When you were doing the performing theater stuff, were you writing or were you just being an actor at that time?
I was doing both. I was writing the plays, and I was also acting. Yeah.
Wow. It's interesting.
Yeah, so it was intense.
Wow.
Yeah, but back then I really loved it. I loved it. Just anything that would allow me to express myself artistically, I would go for it. I went for it without thinking. So
when did you decide you want to be an artist in general, like you want to pursue something related to creative industry in general? How did you make that call? Because you went to study marketing in university.
Yes.
How did you decide I don't want to go work in a bank, I don't want to go work in a government institution, I just want to go be in the creative industry. And I remember that time, even in 2010, 2012, the creative industry was already something people want to be in.
Yes, so actually I was first working in public service. That was around 2012.
Which public service?
That was it was a ministry of East Africa.
So you went to public, like to be a magazine, to work in a magazine after the...
No, that was way before. That was.
I want that story.
Why do you want me to
Yeah, that story.
For the
magazine house.
For the media house. Okay. For the media house, that came about in 2006.
Yes.
Finishing shortly after I finished high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so me and my friends, we just came together, and there was these American magazines we used to see, and we'd enjoy reading them, you know.
The picture,
the pictures, the stories, you know. It was urban lifestyle, you know. music, culture, fashion, entertainment. It was flashy.
I want the name of the magazine.
Yeah, it was called The Vibe.
Do you still can we find a copy anywhere in these days?
That was what inspired us. That was an American magazine. So that was inspiration number one.
Okay.
And then number two, there was a Kenyan magazine called The Insider. So it was basically talking about the youth.
Yeah, okay.
Everything to do with the youth. And then after we used to meet and chat, you know how teenagers can be.
Yeah.
They meet, they talk, they chat. But for us, we said, let's do something. We always meet, come, we listen to music and go home. And then what? So we one day came together and then we said, why don't we start a magazine that is a Rwandan version, something which looks like what we used to see the Americans and the Kenyans were doing. So we came up with a magazine called The Blink.
The Brain.
Yeah.
Can you find a copy?
Yes, I still have a copy at home.
Seriously?
Yes.
I need to see that magazine. I need to see that copy for the video purpose.
Yes.
We put the cover copy on this video. Maybe people will recognize the magazine. So what were you doing in that magazine?
So in the magazine, I was the co-founder of the magazine with three of my other partners. Yeah, so, and I was doing, basically, I was writing, I was contributing, sometimes I was doing marketing and sales, what I studied.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and sometimes I was a managing editor.
Okay.
Yeah, managing editor.
So how long did you last?
We pulled it, it was doing so well.
Okay.
And the youth, because it was urban lifestyle magazine, but with the youth audience. Yeah, we did it for the youth. So it went from 2006 to 2009.
2 years.
Yeah. So it stopped. It unfortunately stopped because it was the time that the world was experiencing economic
crisis in 2008.
depression. Yes. So somehow we also got affected. And we couldn't get more sponsors because we are not publishing on time. Okay. And so somehow it failed. Okay. Yeah, but we are proud. We still talk about it with my friends.
Do you still talking to the co-founder or the people you work with?
Absolutely. We are still in touch.
They are still around?
No. Unfortunately, I'm the only one who's left in Rwanda.
So the other one in America?
The two are in Kenya, one is in the US.
Are they still doing the same stuff or they changed?
They changed.
Life's choices.
Yeah.
So you're the one who's still struggling in it.
I'm still
making it, not struggling, making it.
I'm still the one struggling in
making it
in the hills.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Becoming an artist sometimes.
I'm still the lone soldier.
Yeah.
It's
a journey. It's like, I feel like whenever, even when we were working together, at that time we were like, we want to create this. We were like 3 people, 4 people who had the same vision. We grow up together. I left, you stayed, you married, you have the la 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 la. Spoiler alert, he's married. For how long now?
I've been married now for 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 2019, 2024. Actually, it's now the 5 years, the 5th year.
You don't remember? Your wife's gonna be in trouble. You remember the year you get married? You don't remember how many you stayed? I mean, it's good because you don't have to count the days, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's come back to become an artist. The choice translating from magazine, and do you think like your journey from that side, because the magazine closed, did you feel that this is it? You don't want to keep doing it?
Because I was still in school and I was very occupied.
You didn't think it as a failure?
Actually, I took it. It was sad that it stopped, but there is, on the other hand, there is nothing much we could do about it because our hands were tied financially. We tried. My colleagues tried to revive it, by doing a smaller version of it, but it didn't go so well.
Even at that time, the social media was not a big thing.
It was coming up. It was
Facebook, maybe.
Yeah, Facebook at that time.
Because it started 2009.
2009, yeah. So they tried. They fought. Yeah, they fought. For me, I was mostly engaged with studies. Yeah, because I was, coming to almost to the final year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was so concentrated with studies.
Okay.
But my colleagues, they fought to revive it, which I appreciate so much, and I give so much credit to them. Yeah, and which is something we always talk about and say we really did our contribution to
culture,
to the culture, to the youth during our prime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though no one knew about magazine at that time, I feel like we all knew Imvaho in those newspaper. We didn't knew like those magazines. I feel like I knew. I don't remember, but I heard about the magazine because like I also the other thing in Rwandan culture we don't lead. I feel like you know that we more of people who like to listen, who I can say who likes gospel. we like
our tradition is more of talking and listening.
Yes, than leading. Compared to Kenya or Uganda, the culture is very different. People there they appreciate newspaper more than here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why also we really tried to make the magazine visual, so something appealing that young people can read, relate, but also see the pictures and enjoy the stories, enjoy the segments which are in there, and it worked. Yeah, it worked. And something unusual I want to share with you is that when that magazine, like the second or the third year in the publication, I remember we used to go somewhere for sponsorship, and we said, this is our magazine, and the bosses would look at us and they say, really? This is yours?
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe it because the quality was so good. Yeah, we really tried the quality.
How did you print the magazine actually?
We used to go to Kampala and sometimes in Kenya and print about 1,000 copies to 500 copies. It will depend with the money that we have at the time. When our magazine stopped, or we when it we stopped publishing and closure of business, I didn't take it as a failure. I took it as a learning experience of what is possible, and what is possible and what we can do better next time. Because I said there's this quote by an American author and cartoonist I like that says, creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing what to keep. That is a quote by I think Scott David. So for me, when our magazine failed, if you
when your magazine ended the contract because it was something, it happens.
When it failed, so I took it as a learning experience and also as an honor to have been there at that time to contribute our skills, our knowledge, our creativity, our portion of knowledge during that time. And this I could hear from the people we used to meet, young people, older people, you're doing a good job, you're doing a good job. So it was so inspiring to me. Yeah, I'm proud of what we did back then.
Wow, because like I feel like every person was in creative industry even before 90s or 95, even before that. Yeah, the fathers of everything, because you didn't have anywhere to look for. You just have to start creating using your ideas. And you didn't do good, because if you still have the copy, I'm sure people will see when I put in the video, they're gonna say, wow, you did a good job. Let's talk about your other adventure, because I feel like as men, like in general, the topic I always want to talk about men, because I'm a man. I find myself in this situation. I wish I could have someone who would guide me, tell me, this is, you are a man. Later on, I had someone who told me, but I was like, fuck, I don't want to be a man. I want to run away. I want to be saved by someone else, you know. Yeah. When did you know that this corporate experience, it's not you? Working for government, working for institution, in marketing.
Okay, so like I mentioned some things in particular. I can say they were building, they were like a foundation that was creating a trajectory of where I was going. Somehow along the way I forgot, but when you're an artist, it's an identity that you cannot run away from. It's something that is inborn, that will always revisit. You will always finding yourself revisiting it more often. So yes, I told you I was a civil servant at some point, and like 10 years ago, and I worked like for 1 year, 7 to 5 job, but the routine, some things are just not. There's some, as an artist, at some point there is places that you don't fit very well.
Especially when something repetitive, doing the same thing. Or
I'm not saying this in a bad way, but I'm saying this in knowing who you are and where you function best.
Yeah.
So that's how I left at some point, without another job.
Spoiler alert, it happened to me recently.
I left the job without another job, just taking a risk.
How long did you stay in that job?
1 year.
What were you working on?
I was working at the Ministry of East African Community.
Wow, it was a new ministry.
It was a new ministry.
And the money was good?
And the pay was good. Yeah, and I had the chance to extend the contract because it was a contract based.
Okay.
But I looked deep into me and said, no, I think I need to do something different. So, and that's how I joined. I rejoined the film industry after taking the workshops that you mentioned. 2007. So I said, maybe this is a good time that I need to focus into the filmmaking industry. And good enough, that's when I met you.
The hustler of the hustler.
Yes, that's where we met. Yeah,
gosh.
That's where we met.
And we started that journey.
I can say which it changed the direction of me being an artist.
You knew that this is you
after we met, because we used to meet and talk and discuss ideas. You could have a lot of burning ideas in you and say, how can we do this? How can we make this into a film? How can we? And I remember those discussions.
Do you remember the adventure when we went to do this 250 TV sport we wanted to land in Kimisaga?
Yes. Talk about that. When these private TV stations were starting, and you told me, why can't we create a concept that we can sell for these TV stations? We created one.
250s.
Was it the Stream 250?
Yeah, and behind the scene also.
And behind the scene. Unfortunately, one of the ideas was it was stolen by one of the private TV stations.
Because we gave them the draft.
We gave them the draft. They had nothing, and we gave them something. And I'm happy that it worked for them. It worked for them. So, and I would say during that time, yes, we met. And during our conversations about filmmaking, it ended up with a documentary film.
Yes.
A World Without Sound.
Yeah, our best adventure.
Yeah, which we worked on, and it went very well.
Yeah, for them especially.
Yeah,
because I feel like it was the only documentary up to now they have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but which was also very, very instrumental in the organization, Rwanda National Union of the Deaf.
Yes.
Yeah, we're still good friends. Yeah.
Do you still talking to the translator?
Yes, I still talk to one of the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a journey. It's a journey. I feel like when you look back, you see the struggle. For me, it's like, wow, did I ever come back? I ever come from this? So I'm grateful with the experience we had. I'm grateful with the story we managed to tell. When I called you, I said that men now are talking about the emotion. Since we started, we didn't have. I was struggling. You remember the documentary I was doing, looking for a wife.
Yes.
Yeah, you are the first. At that time, you were single.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. We're all still single.
At that time, you were single. Me, I was single. I'm still single to up to now. But what I can say about the story, even I didn't know that I was struggling. Like mentally, the emotion. I was just like, why do I not feel the same with other people? Why, for me, thinking having a wife or having a family, it's a big deal. For other people, it's just something they do. They don't think about it. That's why I wanted to. I did that research. You are the first person who came in, who you always calling. Let's do this. You came in. You did it. My first interview was the one who was asking question. Later, after almost 10 years, when I was finishing the draft, I look back in the footage and the way you're asking the question you're asking at the one, I was like, wow, this is the story now. I cannot tell you how many cuts I did for that story.
Wow.
Like 5 or 10. And the reason I'm sharing the story is because I was searching myself in that story. And searching myself in that story, I realized we grow up watching movies.
Yes.
And then in a movie, there's always someone saving somebody.
Yes.
And for me, I felt I was the one who has to be saved, you know? The one who has to be saving.
Yeah.
Going outside of Rwanda was my way of saying, okay, I want to do something. I want to go make money and become somebody. And then I realized the problem was not the country. The problem was me. Not being feeling the same, like not being able to say, I'm the man enough. I want to do stuff by myself. And then it comes to this question. You as a man, like, do you feel like you becoming an artist is something that you felt that in you that you didn't understand that made you want to tell a story, made you want to write, want to be a filmmaker?
For me, I am a believer. I believe in God.
Yeah.
And I believe God can bless you from anywhere.
You are.
Any part of the world, God can bless you. As long as, because as an artist, I also believe God is our chief artist. Everything He has created on the world is a masterpiece. You know, the world is the material, the masterpiece of what He has already created.
Okay.
So speaking of men and discovering our identities as men, we are always at war. My brother, we are always at war. Every day we wake up.
It's a competition.
I think. It's a competition. It's a battle. It's who am I going to fight next? What is the next challenge? What is the next ambition? You know, we always want to become better and better and better. But coming back on the artist side, it's challenging because first, our society where we live, our families that we come from, it's sad that sometimes they really don't understand who we are.
Yeah.
They don't. Some of them, they think we are supposed to be wearing blue. When for us, we think we are supposed to be wearing gray. You know, they are two different colors, two different identities.
Yes.
So, in this struggle, I believe we just have to do what we have to do, because this is who we are at the end of the day. You're an artist, I'm an artist. You know, so for me, and you are talking about life and you know, how we make life as an artist. You know, let me answer this by a quote. There is a Chinese contemporary artist called Ai Weiwei. He says, life is art and art is life. I never separate it.
So it has to go along.
It has to go parallel,
Ah,
side by side.
So how many books I read like weekly, daily? Because I feel like you're quoting books, you don't quote, you're not quoting movies. You're not talking about Avengers. You're not talking about.
Yeah.
Curious question: how real books are more than movies? So like, do you feel like movies are the idea that's just putting there to entertain people, and books are there to educate people?
Books, I can say, they are, they are the food. You know how they say food for thought or
Yes.
our food for knowledge. Yeah, sometimes you don't have to read so much, but sometimes you just have to find what interests you and say, okay, I want to read 11 topics, but I will read 2.
Okay.
Yeah, which are more interesting for me.
So what is your
the same
current
with the genres of books that you may.
How many times do you read a book? Like weekly, monthly?
Okay, I try like in a month. I try to read like maybe 30 pages.
How
30
many
pages.
movies do you watch a week or month?
Movies, because of time, I'm reducing. It depends. Yeah, it depends. I may in a week I may watch only one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So currently, what was your favorite movie like in this genre? Do you still watching Kenyan movie? Do you watch African movie or American movie, or you don't have time?
Let me see.
You watch Netflix actually?
No, unfortunately no. A favorite movie I watched recently, there was I've forgotten the name. I've forgotten the name, but it has something to do with life. It has something, a name called something in the name life. Yeah, but
It's an American one or an African one?
yeah, it's an American one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You work in the industry. I mean, like movie industry in Rwanda, film industry. You have seen people growing from becoming the big name in Rwanda or out of Rwanda. Do you feel like I don't know. For me, when I talk about movies, I see there are many people who are making good movies, but they're not making good movies for the Rwandan audience. They are making movies for international audience. But like, you've been working in a festival, you've been working with Rwandan Film Festival at that time, even with this recent one, I don't remember the name. Mashariki, you've been working with them also. Tell me, what do you see before 10 years ago when we started in 2007 up to now? What do you see the Rwandan movie going?
Okay, the Rwandan film industry, I can say, compared to 10 years ago,
Yes.
it is becoming more of a job to go to
make money.
And it's becoming serious in terms of income, in terms of profession. Although there is a long way to go, but I can say so far so good. Because looking at films like Ikigeragezo cy'ubuzima.
Wow, that was my first movie.
Yeah, by is it Theogene Bizimana?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, and so many others. Today, when you look at
Seburi Koko, no,
like what Zachu TV is doing,
is producing. Yeah.
Wilson, Mr. Wilson, it's very hopeful. You know, when you look at this era of what YouTube has enabled artists
to become,
individual artists and groups and collectives to do and to become, it's amazing. It's amazing. So there is so much hope, you know. People now can they don't rely on television stations or mainstream media to go and place your money there, your material, or going to them for sponsorship. Today it's different. The channels, the mediums are so many. You can go anywhere you want, and still you can make money. Okay. So it's hopeful, and maybe the creativity part.
I was going to ask it because you always write stuff and you always supervise, even before that. Do you see the storytelling part? How do you can you relate to the storytelling in general?
For instance, this local series that.
The one you're working on. Let's talk about the one you're working on.
The one I'm working on.
Yes.
it's not yet out, so maybe I can say less about it.
No, you can. But you have been working for 3 months there, right?
2 months.
2 months. Imagine to be on a set that Rwandese set.
Yes.
Yes, for all the technician Rwandese, actor Rwandese,
Yes.
and the producer Rwandese. You know, it's something big because I don't think you remember. There's a movie. I don't remember. It was a French movie. Even documentary, they used to come here. There was always a French movie. They can spend 3 weeks, 3 days, 5 days to where we could just get jobs. They were paying good enough.
Money, yeah.
Even welcoming.
And it's still happening.
Yeah, but still. Nowadays, to be able to say that you've been to a set that is Rwandese, even the technician, it's something big also.
Yeah,
We can appreciate that.
It's a milestone.
Yeah. Will you be happy when you see your movie out? Like I work on that movie, that TV show.
Yes, I would be happy. I would be happy because one, it's something that is locally produced from local talents, from people that we know. Yeah, in the same circle of creatives.
Yes.
And it's also something that wasn't common like 10 years ago. Yeah. And now people are possible to produce, television, drama series that run for months and months and months. So I can say, the storytelling is good, depending on also the audience, because the Rwandan audience, they needed something to consume that relates to them. And you can't produce something that maybe would be relevant in Thailand and forget our local audience.
Yeah.
So charity begins at home. It always begins somewhere.
Yeah.
Before we can tap into other audiences, maybe in Asia or South America, we also have our African audience. And look at it this way. Ever since we grew up, we have been watching, drama series, America, Bollywood, Nollywood just came the other day. But everything we know that has shaped us, most of our childhood memories, it's Hollywood.
Yes, and Bollywood.
Hollywood, Bollywood, Broadwood, Broadway story. Yeah. So why like we always say it, this is the African time, there is also something needed, for Africa, as Africans.
Yeah.
So if others can do it,
why
can't we also change the narrative and do?
So do you think there is a hope we're gonna produce on the Netflix Rwandan show that's gonna be landing on Netflix?
If Nigerians and Kenyans did it,
they are doing it. They're still
doing it. Yes, they broke. It was a breakthrough for them.
Yes,
Rwandans can do it too.
But when it's come to technology, Rwanda is one of the best countries to be in because there always there is opportunity. There is internet now. With internet, young generation can really learn fast. Because I think being creative is something that you don't go to school to learn. You just survive by yourself and learn.
You allow yourself to do mistakes. To do all the mistakes, and in between, something bursts out.
Even with AI now, the game has changed. You need to buy AI and then I just have to be creative, tell what you want to see, and it's gonna create everything.
I would prefer not to use it yet.
Why? Because actually, let's talk about you. You are now a translator, transcript.
I'm a linguist, translator.
Okay.
Yes, script writer.
Yes. Also write scripts for.
I also do film directing. For.
So how are you using technology these days? Because you don't have Instagram. I only see your post like once a month on your Facebook, quoting some intellectual stuff. How are you with the social media?
I'm not friendly with some of the social networks.
Why?
Yeah, I would say that way.
Why?
Because I think they don't appeal to me.
As someone making money?
Okay, they don't interest me. And I say this with a strong conviction because if, again, you don't identify with the content, or if I cannot fetch anything that helps me, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be there.
Wow.
Yeah, I go somewhere where I can borrow something that would be helpful in my journey as
So
an
you
artist.
don't have Instagram on your phone?
I have an account, but it's dormant.
You don't watch, like you go scoring like everyone else?
No. I rarely do that.
What about TikTok?
No.
What about Twitter?
Twitter, active.
You always have something to tweet.
Facebook, active. LinkedIn, active.
So let's talk about your mental health then, because I'm always complaining, I'm always blaming other people and other social media, because for me as a photographer, social media was the thing to be able to, even the content I'm posting is now Instagram, YouTube, now I have a TikTok, I'm posting everywhere because so people can see what I'm doing. But I feel like the more I spend time on social media trying to use it, even now I consume also, but it's you draining. You're always in stress. I'm always under hype, you know, anxiety, they're always around. So how is your mental health? Let's talk about the mental health.
So mental health is a very big and sensitive topic, and looking at I would like to talk about it looking at this digital era that we are living in, technology and information. We're being bombarded by information, a lot of stuff, and you know, video on demand. Read these links, you know, groups,
communities.
Everything is requiring is demanding for our attention. So, as a man and as an artist, I would say for me, I really try to limit what I consume. You're asking me why you're not on social media, why you're not on Instagram, why you're not on TikTok. So I would only limit my time on social media in a sense that if I get what I want, I log off so that I can concentrate that better part of the day in doing something else that is productive. So, and looking at, you know, as men, as I told you, you know, our society demands that, you know, we do this, you know, we provide, we protect. I'm married. So what I'm telling you, I know
by experience.
By experience, we provide, we protect, and we produce as well a family, children. It's very important that we also protect our you know, our mental, what we are consuming, because it doesn't, so that you, at the end of the day, you don't find yourself that garbage in, garbage out. What if you put in garbage and then
you're putting out the garbage?
You're putting out the garbage. So it's, we have to make a lot of choices when we are on those platforms. So because if we don't have that kind of discipline, and I'm talking also something that I also do, because at some point, you know, when social media was exploding, all this one after the other, social media, new platforms. We want to go there, we want to go on Threads, we want to go on TikTok.
Now I'm on a podcast.
Snapchat, you know. So you can't, at the end of the day, as a, rationally speaking, you can't be everywhere. You have to make your choices wisely and know where you fit and what helps you. You know, if this platform is feeding my knowledge, is helping me as an artist, is helping me as a man, is helping me to improve my health. I like reading articles or story or books that have topics of self-improvement, how you can improve yourself, improve. So it's very important to limit what you consume on social media, and vis-a-vis your mental state of health. So for me, at some point, I was reckless. I used to consume everything, but at the end of the day, I find that what have I achieved? Because as an artist here, yes, sometimes you are free, but sometimes we have assignments to take care of. So if you are not if you're not vigilant, you find yourself addicted. Easily addicted to, you know, watching videos, consuming what others have posted. And at the end of the day, what have you done?
You're lost.
You're lost.
I feel like most of the men in my younger generation, including myself, we are confused because we have a lot of information. We are told that this is what you should do. When we were growing up, to be a man, you have to put your emotion inside. You have to make sure that you don't talk about your feelings. That was our generation. That was our father's generation. Even to be able to have a good conversation with your father is something that it wasn't already like a casual conversation. Then we grow up hating our fathers. For me, I didn't want to be like my father. He was a good man. Even when he died, he managed to do something that we were able to survive even he was not around. And then we realized, I've been told to not to be like my father, because he didn't, that stuff I didn't like about him, but still he was a man enough to provide us a future even he was not around. Later on, when you grow up, you realize, fuck, what's wrong with me, you know? Because no one was guiding me, showing me this is a man should be. Even if we make a mistake, we are men. There is responsibility. You don't forget that you have a responsibility. Nowadays, we don't want to take responsibility. We want to run away. It's why marrying or selecting a spouse is becoming something impossible from us, because we're like, who do I choose? People say don't go with the beauty, go with the brain. And you realize, hey, she's had made money, like she has a salary, she's making like 10 million. How much I'm making? How am I going to ask that girl to a date or to taking out? And she's like, she's going to own those 5-star hotel. And me, I can afford to go to that Nyamirambo Marangi, where you pay like 2,000, you're like, I can pay 5,000, I'm good. Then the place she goes, it's like you have to pay like at least 50,000 for just a coffee and a good conversation. How do you approach that guy? And you realize, okay, I'm confused. Maybe I'm the wrong body. Yeah, that's my struggle. Because I'm talking about being man, being the guidance, how to know what to do, what no should do. But still, it's something I feel like you need to figure out. But at the same time, it's why I'm doing this podcast. I'm talking to people who manage to overcome those challenges. So people who get a chance, who are struggling also, or even myself, even when I'm talking to different people, I'm learning at the same time. You as a man, I think we can even be the conclusion. What is the message to the young generation, to people who are lost, who are still struggling, trying to understand the manhood, the responsibility and the and the patience? Because I know you are a patient person. I know you for a long time. Whatever you do, you don't rush at things. You take time.
Yeah, the message to the young generation is to
men, especially
men in particular.
Yes.
Is to talk to their elders, respect their elders. For those who are blessed to have fathers,
Yes.
who listen to them, who give them time, talk to your fathers so that you can help you understand who you want to be, but also learn from their mistakes. Learn from what they have failed to do in their youth, during their youth. So another thing I can say, as young people who are still trying to, have their own families, is to keep their faith in God, because, like I told you, He's a
provider.
He's a provider. He's our chief creator.
Chief in command.
Chief in command of heaven and earth. So there is so much wisdom. There is so much wisdom, even when you read the Bible. There is so much wisdom, and the Bible, we have people who have already read it and understood it, and put it into practice. So they know what they are talking.
Okay.
They have lived it.
Do you think
decades and decades.
Because of a lot of information we have now, do you think people, like, I feel like more people are not trusting, I don't know, believer anymore, because they have a lot of information, they have a lot of contradictory story that not allowed them to only believe in God, because at that time when we were growing up, the only information we had, the only hope we had, the only place to go was to go to church, because it was a culture, was even for our parents or before our parents. For now, I don't think people go to church anymore. I don't think like few numbers really believe in God.
Actually, to disappoint you, people still go to church. People still
Believe in God.
believe in God. Although, you know, in the world there are so many information and misinformation, and
I think misinformation and more.
it's a battlefield. Like I told you in the beginning, it's a battlefield. You know, we are always fighting and fighting. So I believe for the young people, they just need to be rational with the world and what they want from it, and not be emotional or you know, be misguided by many information that is out there. They should just be rational and know what they want, and take advice, and at the end of the day, do the right thing.
Amen.
Yeah, and do the right thing. Because at the end of the day, there is in the book of Ecclesiastes of the Bible,
Amen.
there is a scripture that says there is nothing new under the sun.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
there is nothing new. Everything that the young people want to do, it has been done. It has been done somewhere in Singapore. It has been somewhere. It has been done in Argentina. It has been done in Luxembourg.
I feel like the human behavior, we already, it's even after 10 years or 100 years, we will have the same behavior. We will have the same anger or the same things that we want to do. Even it's different format, but still we want to be successful. We want to be elevated. We want to be looked at. Like River Legacy. Do you feel like you want to live a legacy, or you just want to live and? It's for me. I feel like living a legacy is it's a big pressure. When you look at Bob Marley's life, it's someone I believe. I say like he managed to be the guy, even he didn't want to be the guy. With his lifestyle or what he was doing, he became something that even now after 15 years, he passed like almost 57. I don't remember exactly. He died in 81, right?
81 years.
Yes. 53, I think.
36.
Yes. He still has a name, you know. He still, people are still admiring his music. You can still listen to the music even when he was talking. Redemption
song.
Yes. The word he was using, I could just listen to that song. Emancipate from women to servant. No one is gonna save me. Yes. I don't remember the lyrics, but
no
still,
one by yourself will free your mind.
Yes, that one I loved about that song. I feel like we're trying to. I was struggling at that time. I was like, fuck. What do I feel like? This is the end. This is the beginning of me.
There is always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. The little bad. Don't worry. Yeah, there was the fucking song.
Because every little thing.
It's gonna be alright.
There is a new movie about him.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. So you're asking me if I think I would leave a legacy.
No, do you want, or do you?
Do I want to leave a legacy?
Or you just want to live your life and fulfill your dream and also your families and the stuff, or you just want to leave a legacy?
I would say leaving a legacy is a gift. It's a gift from God. It's God given. Sometimes you want to, but because of the circumstances,
the choices,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's a gift. But if you ask me, I would say yes.
Okay.
I would love to leave a legacy.
So I'll be proud to say later on that I met a legacy guy. Richmond RUNANIRA.
Yes, it's a pleasure, my friend.
I will remember you. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Oh, in terms of talking about remembering, my auntie husband is like my uncle, and I'm close to my cousin. He's living abroad now. I feel like we were talking when I was living in Korea. We were like we could understand each other, because when you live abroad, people are just trying to say, no matter if I'm never going to die. But we could talk, we could share the ideas. And then I know he's having a hard time because he lost his father. I want to dedicate this episode to him, so wherever you are, my brother Poku, cheers. We will miss your father, but still we are here, and we have to leave the legacy because he made us. You here, we are here. So this episode is for you, man. Thank you, Richmond, for being my guest today, and then maybe we'll find another time to talk about manhood and other stuff. And it was my pleasure to have you.
It was my pleasure too, and my condolences to you for your
for my family,
for your departed uncle and your family.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you guys for watching. As you can see, the conversation was too long, and I'm happy to be talking to my friend Richmond. I hope to see you in my another episode. Peace.